Hi, I'm John Leonard. I'm a lawyer at Fairfield and Woods in Denver, Colorado. Today we're going to meet one of my partners, Colin Walker, who practices in employment law. Colin, thanks for
Thanks for having
joining
me,
me.
John. It's great to be here.
So you've been in Denver for a while. Where'd you come from? What did you do before you came to Denver?
Yeah, well, I've been in Denver so long now, I feel like I'm here for the duration. But many years ago, I started my career as a criminal prosecutor in Baltimore, Maryland. And I did that for the first 4 years of my career. And it's quite a bit different than what I do now, but it was really a great experience professionally and personally. And professionally, it gave me a lot of trial experience. And that's very helpful to me, even when I'm not in trial, because I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen if I get to trial.
Yeah.
And I kind of know how judges and juries act. And it's good to keep that in mind when you're trying to advise clients on how to handle employment law and a lot of other things.
Yeah. So just in general, we're talking employment law. What is employment law? Well, I mean, what is it? For example, it's not what I'm getting at is it's not representing unions, for example.
Yeah, that's what we would call labor law, and that is a bit of a different animal. In Colorado, we don't have a lot of unions. We do have some, but employment law is what I focus on. I also do all kinds of civil litigation, such as breaches of contract, and that can overlap with employment law as well. But when we're talking about employment law, we're talking about the laws governing how a business interacts with the people that work for it. It would include things like independent contractors, which, as we'll discuss in another segment, are a little bit different. But most of the other folks that work for a business or could be a nonprofit or any kind of organization are going to be employees. And there's a pretty distinct set of laws that govern those relationships.
Any tips for employers just in general, like call you sooner or later, have things in writing, anything like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, those are both true. You need to keep in mind that employment law changes all the time,
Yeah.
much more so than most other types of law. So you need to find a way to keep up with that. One is to have a lawyer that you work with closely. If you have an HR director, and the larger businesses should have an HR director, then they should be educated. And there's a particular organization that I belong to called the Society for Human Resource Management. And I'm on the board of directors. I'm the legislative director for the Colorado Society for Human Resource Management. So it's my job to keep up on these laws and help educate our membership on that. And that is an organization that's a great thing to get involved in for HR directors, but anybody that's involved in HR, such as maybe an office manager or a CFO or someone like that who deals with HR, just a great resource and a great way to educate yourself on these ever-changing employment laws.
Yeah. How do you like to work with clients, or how do clients get a hold of you? Is it a phone meeting? How do you meet your clients for the first time, in person or on the phone? How does that usually work?
It can be any of those things, but usually I don't meet employment law clients because they're getting sued. That's probably not the best way to meet a client and to meet a lawyer. By the time you're getting sued, a lot of it has already happened probably. So the best way to do it is to meet a lawyer early on, and especially when you're just forming a business. I love to meet startups, and I love to talk with them about these issues so we can get this stuff squared away before the ball really starts rolling. Once things start rolling, sometimes, especially in a young business, people get ahead of themselves and things fall through the cracks, and that can lead to a lot of problems. So best to form a relationship early on before you've got problems. Maybe you're considering an employee handbook. Maybe you're just starting to hire employees. So we can talk. We can do preventative maintenance. And then, if we got to do some heavy lifting later, we're going to be in a better position to do that.
Yeah, well, good to know. Any parting? Oh, talk about your employment blog.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a geek. I'm an employment law junkie and fiercely proud of it. And I'm so proud that I've started my own blog called C-Level Law, C for Colin, C for
Huh?
C-Level Executives. You can find it by Googling, just Google C-Level Law. and I talk about a lot of these issues. And I'd love to see you all there.
Yeah, that's C, the letter C.
Correct. C-level law.
All right. Colin, thanks for spending a few minutes to introduce yourself and introduce us to employment law.
My pleasure,
Thanks.
John. Thanks for having me.